and I'm a volunteer here at the Kurt Vonnegut Museum. And my favorite banned book is Annie on My Mind. I think it's a really sweet teen romance novel. It sort of romanticizes that, like, meeting someone in a museum and falling in love with them and sort of being swept off your feet. And I think it also has a lot of, even though it was written in the 1980s, it has still implications today and about teachers getting fired because of their sexual orientation and who they love. So I think it's still a really good book, and it's really sweet and romantic. The basic plot is just these two girls living in Brooklyn, or one lives in Brooklyn and one lives in Manhattan, and they fall in love, and sort of the beginnings of realizing that you're a lesbian, and sort of just that feeling of being young and falling in love, and how scary it is, but also how wonderful it can be. In high school, I started going on a lesbian literature binge, and I started with Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, another banned book, The Well of Loneliness, another banned book, and I just kept going. I added on Fun Home, and then finally I went and bought Annie on My Mind because of its history of being banned and how well recognized it is as being a very loud lesbian literature book. I bought it and I read it, and I fell in love with it because of how sweet it was. I think they expand on what is the norm, and they also give, we often like to hide the stories of people like getting fired because of their sexual orientation, or these things happening. We hide them because they're not always a good press for your school or for your company, and so I think it sort of shines light on that. And it also, stories like Annie on My Mind, if a teenager reads them and a young woman isn't too sure about herself and is sort of maybe coming to her own, like realizing her sexual orientation, it is a book that makes you feel less alone, and sort of also romanticizes, and sort of makes you feel like, yes, I can have this life, and it can be really wonderful and sweet. It makes you be less afraid to fall in love.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.